Okay, guys, so now we're going to go ahead and start our pages, and I'm so excited. So for our pages, we are going to need, you're going to need 3 pieces of, for each page, you'll need 3 pieces of 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper, okay? So, this is why I've got this packet here. This is the ultra or premium cardstock. It's the great white, and is the 8.5 by 11 paper, okay? And it's the smooth texture, which is awesome cardstock. You guys are really like this cardstock. So I'm going to go ahead and open this real quick. And I have some set aside here. So for these, you will need 12 sheets altogether, okay? And I don't know why I'm having trouble tonight opening stuff. So I am just having bunches and bunches of problems. so let's see, I have 1, 2, I have 4 here, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we'll have 12 sheets here, okay? And so you'll need 12 sheets altogether, okay? You will need 4 that are going to be cut at 6 3/4 by 7 3/4. Okay, so you will need 4 of those. So I'm going to put 4 on here. Okay, so you'll need 4 of those. For the back of your page, you will need 4 that are cut at 7 3/4 by 8 3/4. Okay, you will score a 1/2 inch on the right side. Okay, and the reason why is because we're doing that flap thing again. So where we did it on the Christmas album. So you'll score a 1/2 inch or 1 inch, or I'm sorry, you'll score 1 inch on the right side, okay, right here. So this will be your 1 inch score, okay, that's going to be your little flap for the inside, you'll need that. Then you're going to score another paper, okay, or I'm sorry. Okay, so for the back of the page, you are going to need to score at a 1/2 inch on the right and left side of the 7 3/4 inch side. So when your paper's in your scoreboard on the 7 3/4 inch side, you will score a 1/2 inch here, and you'll score a 1/2 inch here, okay? And that is how you're going. You're going to fold those in and glue those down. Then you're going to score 1 inch on the right, okay? So you'll score 1 inch on the right, 1 inch on this side, okay? And that's going to be your flap that you're going to need for your pull out. Your pull out is right here, and it is going to be it's going to be cut at 6 3/8 by 11. You are going to score 1 inch on your left hand side, and then you're going to score at the 1/8 inch side, okay, and on your right hand side, okay. So that is how we're going to do our pages, and I'm going to go ahead and do a few with you so that way you all know what I'm talking about. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and cut the 6 3/4 by 7 3/4 inch papers. So I'm just going to grab a couple of those. Okay. And I'm going to grab my cutter, and I'm just cutting 2 at a time. So I'm going to go ahead and cut down at 7 3/4. Okay. And it's I usually save all my scraps. It's just, well, whatever you want to do. I save all my scraps just in case we need them for belly bands or for tuck spots or things like that. And then 6 by 3 1/4. Okay. 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 And I'm just going to go ahead and do a few more. Might as well. I'm here. Might as well go ahead and do it. So, we're going to go ahead and put those down. And then 7 3/4. Okay, and so there's my 4 at 6 1/4 by 7 3/4. Okay, and that might be a little long. I don't know why. Okay, let me cut that down just a bit. This piece that we're going to cut is the back piece, and that's going to be at 7 3/4 by 8 3/4. So again, 7 3/4. By 8 3/4. So I want to make sure that's straight. Okay, by 8 3/4. Okay. Okay, so then we're going to go ahead and cut out the little areas for this, which is 6 3/8 by 11. So really, you don't need to cut the paper down, but I went ahead and checked it out. So 4, so 6 3/8. Okay. So 6 3/8. I go ahead and just cut 2 out at a time. So 6 3/8. And 6 3/8 is going to be where? I think it's going to be right here. We'll have to see. So 6 3/8 by 11. I'm just going to scoot this over to 11, and I'm going to go ahead and just cut that little piece off. You don't really have to if you don't want to. So let me make sure that this is 6 3/8. It's a little over 3/8. So I'm going to cut it down just a bit. So we got all of our papers cut now. So now you'll just need your scoreboard. And we're going to go ahead and score the inserts. Okay, so for the inserts, since they were the last thing that we cut. So for the inserts, we're going to go ahead and you're going to score your paper. So that when you get done scoring it, it should look like this. Like a Z, kind of like a Z fold when you do a card, if you've ever done one of those. So you're going to score an inch here. Okay, and this is going to be on the 11-inch side, and you're going to score 1 inch, 1 inch here, and then you're going to score 8 inches here. Okay, and this is for your insert. So if you want to mark them, you can definitely mark your your pages, like insert or pull out, whatever you call it. And this is going, this flap, this is going to be the front. Okay, so you can definitely put front insert. Okay, and then this is the back, because you have this little flap right here. This is going to attach to the flap on the inside of our page. Okay, so that's how that's going to look. Again, I'm going to do another one with you. So 1 inch and then 8 inches. Okay, again, you're going to fold that inward. Okay, and then you're going to fold this back. Excuse me, guys, still have a cough. Okay. And I'll do another one with y'all. So 1 inch here and 8 inch. I think my phone is going berserk. It's going berserk. Okay. And, oops, I folded mine the wrong way. But that's okay. I can fold it back. All right. Just like that. So again, you're going to have 4 of these, okay? Alrighty. So then, for your next item, okay, you're going to have the 7 3/4 by 8 3/4, okay, and we need to score a 1/2 inch on the right and left side. So, and that is going to be on the 7 3/4 inch side. So we need to get that paper, okay, and you want to make sure that it's the right one, okay, and this is the 8 3/4 by 7 3/4, okay. You want to put this on the 7 3/4 inch side where, okay, it lines up against the top part of your scoreboard, okay. So your 7 3/4 inch side will line up against the top of your scoreboard, okay. You're going to score a 1/2 inch here all the way down, okay. So a 1/2 inch here, and then I just turn mine around, and then a 1/2 inch here. Okay, just like that. All right. So that is going to be how you do that for this 7 3/4 inch side. You're going to turn your paper on the 8 3/4 inch side, okay, and you're going to score an inch on your left-hand side, okay? So you're going to score an inch all the way down. So now you've got a score line at the top, score line at the bottom, and a score line on the left-hand side, okay? So again, I'm going to show you how to do that. So on your 7 3/4 inch side, you're going to score a 1/2 inch all the way down. Turn it to the other side of the 7 3/4 inch. Score a 1/2 inch all the way down. You're going to turn it to the 8 3/4 inch side, and you're going to score a 1 inch all the way down. Okay, and that's on the 8 3/4 inch side. Okay. Now, after you get this part done, and you do all 4 of them, okay, so you're going to take the piece that has all the 3 sides scored, and I'm going to zoom in. Okay, so let's see, there we go. Okay, so now putting the pages together, you have the 3 the 3 areas that are scored on your piece of paper. You're going to go ahead and fold them in. Okay, so you're going to fold in that 1/2 inch and fold the bottom one in, and then you can also fold in the 1 inch. Okay, And then once you're done burnishing those down, you're going to be left with this piece like that, okay? And so these little areas here, these little rectangles on the flap, you're just going to cut those off, okay? So you're just going to go ahead, cut those off. All right, just like that. And then you're going to be left with this part, okay? So this is actually going to go on the inside, just like this, okay? And then these are going to fold over this part. This is going to be your track for your other page, okay? So it's actually going to be like this. This is actually going to be on the back side, okay? And then the other piece is going to go over this piece just like this, okay? And so when you put in this Z fold piece, okay, this area here, this flap, is going to attach itself to that flap. And that's what's going to keep your insert from coming all the way out, okay? Now, if you want your insert to come all the way out, then you don't need to do this part. You don't need to have this right here. You don't need to have this 1 inch here, okay? You're just going to go ahead and clip that off, or just not even do that part. You'll just go ahead and make your page at 7 3/4, okay? So, and then you'll just do your insert like you usually do, okay, with the flap if you wanted to do a flap up here, okay? So, I'm going to go ahead and put this in here, just like this, and we're going to go ahead and fold these in. I'm going to go ahead, now if you want to, you can use tape. It's totally however you want to do your page. I'm going to use my glue, because this glue sticks pretty good, so I really trust this glue. Have to say it's one of my favorites compared to, I can really compare it to art glitter glue, is what I really do compare it to. So you're just going to go ahead and fit your other page right on top of this page here, okay? Just like that. And you're going to go ahead and turn it around and adhere the other side, just like this. Okay. So just like that. And we'll just burnish those in, just like that. Okay, and then, so now you have your page done, okay? And you'll have your open flap. Your little 1 inch strip will be on the back side here. So there is my little 1 inch strip right here. And I'm going to go ahead and just put my paper in there. So it's going to fit in there just like that. And it's going to grab my, once I put it in there, it's going to grab that, okay? And there is our flap, our insert, and there is our page. So it's just like that, okay? Super easy peasy. So, so you're going to go ahead and put all your pages together like that, and I'm going to go ahead and do one more. Again, you're going to go ahead and grab the 6 3/4 by 7 3/4 page. Okay, and then you're going to grab the other one that we just scored. So we're going to score it, and we are going to score, we're at the 8 3/4 inch, so that means you're going to score an 1 inch here. Okay, you're going to score 1 inch there. You're going to turn it, score a 1/2 inch. Turn it again, score another 1/2 inch. Okay, and you're going to go ahead and fold those in, just like that. Fold in your 1 inch. bring it down and cut your little rectangles off. You're going to push this 1-inch flap inside. Bring in your 1/2-inch flaps. Okay, and you're going to put your glue or your adhesive tape on it. Okay. All right. Just like that. And you're just going to go ahead and adhere them down. Okay. And I just do one side at a time because sometimes they kind of, it's just easier to make sure that they're all lined up and everything when you do one side at a time. Okay, there's that. And then you're going to go ahead and grab your other piece of paper that you just finished. You're going to go ahead and slip that in here into your little track. And there is your sheet of paper. Okay. Your little insert is inside. Yay! So there is that. So that is our page 2. So we're going to do that again for page 3 and page 4, and then I will be right back. Hi guys, it's Deb here with Creative Life, and so I wanted to go ahead and go over real quick how we're going to do our inserts for our pages. So when we first cut out our inserts, they were like this. Okay, so they were little flaps, and they go back like, let me go ahead and remove all of this other stuff. They insert like this, right? And they pull out, and then they latch onto the little lip that is inside of here, right? So we're going to pull these out, okay, just like this, and we're going to go ahead and use our beautiful die set to cut it like this, okay? And then this will overlap it, so when you insert it back in here, okay, so we're going to insert it like this, and when you insert it, it will fold over like this, okay? So that is how we're going to do our inserts. So I did page 1 and 2 already, so here's page 2. So I did that one. So now we just need to do page, well, this one will be page 1 again, so because I put page 3 over here. So this one will be page 1. So to do that, since we have this fold here, okay, you are actually going to get your die, and you are going to put it on top of your board, okay, or your little die cut machine. Okay, you're going to put it like this, okay, and you're going to go right below that. Let me go ahead and zoom in so I can show you all what I'm talking about. And I'm still getting used to this, so I'm trying to figure out where my, oh, there it is, okay. Nope, that's not it. Let me scoot over just a bit. There we go. And I'm still trying to get used to this, you guys. So, okay. So here is our, right here you could see the little line, score line right here. Okay. You're going to put your die cut right on this, see right here, this little like notch right below here. You're going to stick your die cut right there. That's where that is going to be below that line. Okay. So, you're going to stick that right there, just like that. And that's going to be right below that little line. And I'm going to try to bring this up to you guys. I want to go ahead and grab some more of this little tape here. Okay. Stick that down. Okay, so here. So you can see my score line right here. And this is where my little notch is right here, where it's right below that line. Okay, so all of this right here will be cut above here, and that's going to create our little envelope fold, or that's what I'm calling it. So that's what you're going to have. Okay, now to get it to cut out, okay, and not cut below that line, you're going to grab your plate, and I know my plate is like so messed up. So, I'm very hard on my stuff, I'm telling y'all. Okay, you're going to put your plate right above that score line. You're not going to put it below that score line, okay? Because if you put it below that score line, then it will cut that, area, okay? So what you could do is, if you wanted to, you could actually put a mark right there, okay, a pencil mark right on your score line, okay, and that will help kind of determine or help you see where to put your plate, okay. So I'm just going to scoot this in just a bit. You could always erase those lines once we get it done cutting out, okay, and then you're just going to go ahead and, whoops, push that in. There we go. Okay, and you're just going to go ahead and feed that through. Now the one thing that I do want to tell you is I want you to hold on to your plate, because it will flip up once it gets to the end, okay? So you do need to hold on to your plate, okay? Okay, so there it goes, it clicked. So now you just go ahead, and I just backed mine out like this. Okay, and there you go. So now we have our little envelope piece, okay, and you can go ahead and cut that now. So I just grabbed my scissors, and I just cut it right on the other side of that score line, just like that. So here's the score line, and I just cut it off to the inside of that mark there. Okay, just like that. And then as far as like getting all of these out, you know, you can punch them out, or, you know, whatever you want to do. I just went ahead and grabbed like my little brush tool here, and I just went ahead and scraped all of them out. Okay. And they came out pretty easy, so just gotta, of course now they don't. So of course now they're giving me issues. So once you get all of yours done, okay, and you have little stragglies that will be attached to the bottom part, just grab your scissors and cut those off, okay, because you don't need them. Okay, just like that. Okay, and then you can continue just taking these out. Okay, and the die set that we're using is that beautiful Heartfelt Creations die. It's this one, and this is the set we're using right here. And with that, it comes with this beautiful die, and then it comes with the shape that cuts that out. So yeah, so that's so pretty. So I'm so excited. So it's so pretty, y'all. Have to get this die. I'm telling you, you will love it. So then I'm going to go ahead and do it again and show you guys. Okay, so I'm just going to take out page 4. Okay, and just like that. Okay, again, we're going to go ahead and hold that out. I'm going to go ahead and place those little notches right below my my score line. Okay, and I just kind of eyeballed the center. I didn't really measure like the center or anything. I just kind of eyeballed it. And then I'm just going to make my little line on my score line, so that way I know that's where I need to set my plate. Okay, I'm going to grab my plate and just kind of push that through. Make sure it's lined up to my score line. Okay, scoot this over just a bit. Just like that. And I'm going to go ahead and run that through. Okay, just making sure everything's lined up. And again, I'm going to switch hands and hold my plate over here with this hand, okay? Because you do not want that to flip out on you, okay? And I'm going to zoom out just a bit so you guys can see what I'm doing. So see how my hand is holding the plate down? That's because I don't want it to flip out, because it will flip. And, you know, not that it'll flip back. It may flip back on me. I don't know. I haven't had that happen, but you don't want that to happen. So, okay. So now we can take this off, just like that. Okay. And we can cut this part off. So you're just going to go ahead and cut on the other side of that line. There you go. Okay, just like that. And I think I cut it just a bit crooked. Okay. And I'm just going to cut on the other side of that line. Go. And so there we go. So there is our little, I call it a little envelope flap. I don't know. It's just what it reminds me of. Reminds me of a little envelope flap. So, so I think you guys are really going to like this die. There is so many uses for it, and I can't wait to show you how we're going to use some of the other dies that are in this set. So, but before we moved on, I really wanted to share with you guys how to get this, how to go ahead and decorate your little inserts. You know, you can always decorate them like this. So, again, if you have little things that are sticking out from that, just cut it off, because we don't need them. Okay. All right, so there we go. So, and I'm just going to finish taking these off. And, oh, you can flip it back and also cut them out, just because we don't, like I said, we don't need those. So you just go ahead and flip it back and cut those off. Just don't cut into the fold, because then you'll have to remake that. Okay, so you don't want to cut into that fold. Okay, just like that. And there is your envelope. Cut, die, flap. Okay. All right, guys. Well, I will be right back, okay? And we will finish up our pages. And I will start with page 1 and give you all the measurements. And I'm going to clean up my mess. Be back. Hi, guys. It's Deb. I'm back. So clean up all my mess. So now we're on to page 1. So we are going to be, I'm going to give you all of the measurements that you need for page 1. Okay. And for the front and the back of the page, okay? So our base pages, as we know, they are going to be 6 3/4 by 7 3/4, okay? Again, these are going to be 6 3/4 by 7 3/4. Let me just double check. So, yep, 7 3/4 and 6 3/4. So 6 3/4 and 7 3/4. Okay. So, and then we went ahead and did this part already. Okay, and that was for the pullout. Okay, and I already stuck that back in there. So now that this is done, now the front of the page, you're going to need this little belly band, okay, holder or slip through. That is going to be on your pocket ephemera. That is going to be on the Princess Collection, and that's the tags and the pockets that are 6 by 12. Okay, so that is where you're going to find that. And this right here is all of the pockets and where you'll find this little, I call it a little, I don't know, a little belly band, like buckle, I guess is what you would call it. I don't know. But your belly band is going to be 1 inch by 8 inches, okay? And you're going to score a 1/2 inch on your left-hand side, okay? And this little belly band holder, where it's going to go right through here, okay? It's going to slip right through there, and that's how you're going to, of course, we're going to paper this, so it'll look a little bit prettier, and then you're going to need a magnet on the back of that, okay? So, and then you're going to paper the back of this as well. This is going to go on here just like this. We're going to attach it here, okay? You can fold this inside of your pocket, doesn't matter. And this is going to be in the middle, okay? And we are actually going to do a waterfall right here, okay? And we're going to do our waterfall with our journaling tags and ephemera, okay? So that's what we're going to use. Excuse me, guys. So for this part, I thought it would be really fun to also use the graphics, which is our clear window sheets. Okay, so it's going to be this, and we are going to go ahead and cut this part out. This is the journaling card, I know. I know it's hard to cut, you guys, I know. Okay, I feel your pain. So, but we're going to go ahead and leave the flowers in there, okay, and we're just going to cut this part out. And then on this one, we're going to leave this in there, okay. This one, again, we're going to go ahead and cut this into a frame, and you're going to cut into this area here, leaving the flower. And then here, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to cut into this area. We're going to go ahead and cut part of the crown off, okay, and I'm going to go ahead, and I think I'll put this one like this, okay. So the flowers are up here this time. And then to cover up this little area here, we'll do like maybe a little sticker, or we'll put, you know, something there. And then same thing down here. Maybe we'll add a little flower down there, okay, from the sticker sheet. And then these two will not be touched, okay. These two are actually just going to be in there as part of photos, okay. Then, once we get these on there, okay, we are going to attach them. Once we get these cut and we get the graphics on here and everything, we're going to attach these to a 3 1/8 by 4 1/8 paper, okay? And actually, that is going to be wrong because we need to cut these a little larger. So, actually, these will not be that size. They will be, let's do 3 3/4 inch. So you can have a 1/2 inch on this side that will attach for our waterfall, okay? So I didn't account for that. I don't know why, but I didn't. So, so that's what those are going to be. Okay, so we'll need to cut some of these out. So 3 3/4 by 4 1/8, and you will score a 1/2 inch on your left-hand side. Okay, so I'll get some of those cut, and we're going to go ahead and attach those to them, and then we'll go ahead and set this up for a waterfall, and we will also add our window sheets to here, so you could slide a picture in these. The size of the picture that you're going to be able to slide in here is going to be about I would say it's probably going to be about 2.5 by 3.5, just to give it a little bit, or maybe, I'm sorry, I can take that back. Probably a 3 inch by 2 inch picture. So a wallet size type photo would fit nicely in here. So so that's the size that you're going to need. Okay, and then like I said, we'll go ahead and glue these on there. You will need a sheet of paper. That is, so let me move some stuff out of the way. Just need to grab sheets here of paper, and I'm going to cut them out at 3 3¼ by 4 1/8. Okay. Okay, so your sheet of paper for your waterfall to fit your ephemera on, okay, is going to be 3 3/4 by 4 1/4, okay, and you are going to score a 1/2 inch on the left hand side. Okay, and so then we'll go ahead and we will fit these on here just like this. Okay, and then we will go ahead and put them on here, and they'll flap this way. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and line them down this way. And I think for this, I might go ahead and just line them up starting, you know, kind of like about a 1/2 inch in from the end of the pocket, okay, or of your page, because this part is going to go into the hinge. So I think a 1/2 inch from there, starting your waterfall, is perfect. Okay, and then having it go down. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Before we get started, we are going to go ahead, and I want you to go ahead and cut out all of these. Okay, pick out 5 different ephemeras from your G45 collection. Okay, and I'm going to alter mine. So, and I think actually you'll need 6. Okay, so let's go ahead and do 6. I'm going to pick out one more because I want like a word on it. So, and I think there's words in here. They're all, I think, are they all long ways? Well, okay. So what we're going to do is I'm going to pick one more, and I'm going to do this postcard one. That's going to be my top one. Okay. And I'm going to set these ones aside. And I'm going to go ahead and grab a, you know what? I think we'll put like a little pocket on that. So we'll go ahead and grab a little pocket and put a real princess on there. You could also grab a chipboard piece, or chipboard piece might be nice too. Let's look at the chipboard pieces. I like the chipboard pieces. I like this one. Where will your dreams take you? Oh, that's so pretty. So we could stick that right there. Okay. And there's that one, and then there's a lot of beautiful sayings, you guys. A lot. The sticker sheet is really nice. Oh, I like this one. This one says fairy tale. It's pretty, it's small, but it's really nice. I think we'll just go ahead and leave this one here where it says, where will your dreams take you? So we'll put that one in the front there, and we will go ahead, put these off to the side. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and cut the rest of these. And then you will want to go ahead and cut some of your window sheets. Okay. And this is the graphics. This is the medium weight 8.5 by 11 plastic sheets. Okay. And I'm telling you guys, they are sturdy. I mean, they're really thick. I love them. So I'm going to go ahead and cut some of these. And I'm going to go ahead and these are actually going to be, I'm going to just make them the size of these here of our cards. So our card is 3 by 4. So it's so let's go ahead and cut them at 3 by 4, and we'll see. Yeah, 3 by 4. Let's go ahead and cut them out at 3 by 4, okay? And so I'm going to move this to the side. I want to see how these cut out really. I bet you they cut out really super nice, y'all. So I haven't cut into these yet. Okay. So you'll need 6 of these, okay? So we're going to go ahead and just lay page 1, the top part, the front part of page 1 here. Before we cut these out, okay, let's go ahead. I got all excited. So before we cut those out, let's do back of page 1, okay? So we're going to set those off to the side. All of these go together, okay? So the back of page 1 is really pretty too. So I went ahead and picked a journaling card, and this little journaling card is going to sit right on top of a white piece of paper, okay, just like that. And you're going to cut that out at 4 1/4 by 6 1/8, okay? And your journaling card's going to fit right up on top of there. I bent my paper a little bit too, but that's okay. Then you're going to cut 2 pieces at 4 1/2 by 6 5/8, okay? So 4 1/2 by 6 5/8. Then you're going to score it at a 1/2 inch on the end, okay? So you'll have one that has a score 1/2 inch on the left side, and you'll have one that has a 1/2 score on the right hand side, okay? And those are going to open up like little doors. You will need 2 magnets, okay? One for here, or I'm sorry, you'll need 3 magnets. You'll need one here, here, and then one here to sit on top of the doors, okay? So that's how you're going to do that. And we're going to go ahead, and what I might do is might make a little hinge for this. I was going to have it come off the page, but I think I really would like to have it like just turn over like this. So I think we'll just make a hinge for this. So your hinge will actually be 6 1/8 by 1 inch. Okay, so we'll go ahead and make that. So 1 inch by 6 1/8, and we'll go ahead and attach that hinge to right here, and we'll have this flip open like this. Okay, like that. And then maybe we'll just stick another journaling card on the back of here so people can journal on there. Okay, so we'll pick another card on that. So that is the back of page 1. So we can go ahead and set those aside there. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and do page 1 now. So to get started on page 1, you are going to need, let's go ahead and cut out this graphics. Okay, and I'm just going to bring my trimmer over. And we're going to need these at 4 by 3. I think that's what we said. Yep, 4 by 3. So I'm just cutting them out at 4. And to give you more of a, so you guys can see what I'm cutting, I'm going to go ahead and try to cut it on this tissue, with this tissue paper. Okay, so you guys can see. So I'm going to cut it at 4 first. Okay. And this does cut nice, you guys. Look at, wow. I like that. So, by 3, so we're just going to go ahead and take this over and move it on down. By 3. You'll want to get some of this, you guys. This is my first time using this, and I am loving it. This graphics sheet, window sheet, is really nice. It's a plastic sheet is what it's called, okay? Graphics window, or plastic sheet, sorry. And here's my excess. I'm just going to put that to the side because maybe we need that. And so now I think we can go ahead and cut the frame parts out, okay? We have all of these cut out, okay? And we just have to score them at a 1/2 inch. So I'm going to bring my scoreboard over. And all we have to do is just score them at a 1/2 inch, okay? And this paper is the Great White paper. It is 8.5 by 11. And it is awesome, you guys. I love the smoothness of texture of this paper. It is just very easy to work with. Very nice, light, nice paper. And then you can just go ahead and we can fold all of these. Okay, so now it's time to cut out these. Okay, these we're going to stick up here, and this one we're going to go ahead and put on here, just like that. Okay, and okay, so to cut these out, what you can do this one of 2 ways. Okay, you can go ahead and grab your X-Acto knife. Okay, and I'm just going to zoom in a little bit more for you guys. Okay, you can grab your X-Acto knife. All right, and you can cut around, okay, however you wish. Or you can go ahead, and this is how I'm going to do it. Where this frame is, this piece right here, okay, this pretty peach pinky color frame where it edges on the yellow frame, I'm going to cut that out. Okay, that's going to be cut out. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my X-Acto knife and I'm going to cut from this corner to this corner, and then I'm going to grab that other part of that cut, that middle cut, and I'm going to take it to this corner. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and cut that out with my scissors, and I'll go ahead and cut the remaining part out. with my scissors around the flowers, okay? So we're going to go ahead and grab this, take it down to the corner, grab this corner, take it down to that slit that we just did. Okay, and to make more, if you need more, you can definitely take it here, take it to that slit. Okay, now that opens up the paper a lot for you to slide your scissors in, okay, and start cutting. Okay, so if you didn't want to do that, you can always take your ruler, okay, and I would use a plastic ruler, or like the Tim Holtz ruler has that steel bar that's in it, because you don't want to cut into your ruler. So like, see how it has that little steel bar right there? You can definitely line that up and you could cut into that, okay, just like that. Okay, see how it cut it? Just like that. So you can also do that with your Tim Holtz ruler if that's what you're using. Since I'm doing this by hand, I'm just going to go ahead and clip this part off. Now if you want to save that little crown, you can definitely save that. Okay, you never know, you may want to cut it out or use it for something later. So you can definitely save that and just put that to the side in your scraps. Okay. And then if you never use it, you could just always throw it away. So no biggie. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut. And I was going to try to leave that rose, but I think that I'm just going to go ahead and cut that out. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut that just like that. And you can always go back through and fine tune your cuts, okay? So just want to go ahead and go back through, fine tune that. Just like this. And then you can go ahead and, like before, I had showed you guys how to use your X-Acto knife to cut around certain images and such when we did the simple vintage Christmas album. And you can still do that if you want to. Okay, I'm just doing it freehand this time. So it's I don't know which way. I like both ways, so it doesn't really bother me to do it either way. But whatever way is comfortable for you. And then if you don't want to do the fussy cutting around your image, you don't have to. Okay, so you can just go ahead and cut it all off, and then just use a flower sticker or flowers in there if that's what you wanted. Okay, so just like that. So there is our frame. Okay, our first one. Yay! Then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and line the back of this with our tape. Okay, and I am using a 1/4 inch tape. Okay, or I'm sorry, am I using 1/4 inch? Yeah, 1/4 inch tape. And I'm just going to go ahead and put my tape up here. Okay, and this is for our frame. Okay, and just going to cut that off there. And I am out of tape. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab my little tape, or actually I have some tape. I'm just going to go ahead and use my 3/8 inch tape. Okay, And I'm just going to go ahead and put it down. Now, when you put this down, you want to pick one area. You do not want to slide your, you don't want to take off one part of your tape on. Once we get or let me rephrase that. Once we get our little window sheet on here, okay, we're going to add more tape to this, okay, and you want to pick one area where it's going to be easy for you to slide in your paper or your picture, okay, so whether it's from the top, the bottom, or the side, it's up to you. So I would suggest, I don't know, for me it's the side is the easiest for me. So when you do that, you want to go ahead and use your 1/4 inch tape, or you can use the smallest tape that you have. That way your picture will fit in there with ease, okay? You don't want to have a large tape, because then that will block part of your picture, okay? So as you can see, using a smaller tape would be easier because your picture will fit in there better. So we're going to go ahead and take these off. And we're going to go ahead and put on our little window. Okay. I'm just going to line it up from the top here. And I'm just going to line it up from all the way to the bottom. There we go. And if you have excess hanging over, like sometimes I do, you know, I just go ahead and cut that off, whether it's the tape or the window sheets or, you know, whatever. Sometimes it happens. So, and then you will see that you will have a little bit of a hangover on the corners, okay? I'm just going to cut that off. So, because their corners are rounded and I didn't round my corners. Okay, and you can round your corners before you stick your graphics on if you want to. Okay. I just didn't do that. So there you go. So there's our first one. So we're going to go ahead and stick our tape on the back now. Okay. And I'm going to stick it way down here. And you can find score tape over at JS Hobbies and Crafts. Okay, they have a wonderful selection of score tape there, so you can always find what you need there and on their eBay store. So just to let you know, yep, they have an eBay store too. So maybe if you see something that you like at the store, and let's say it's out of stock, maybe they might have it at their eBay store. You never know. So you might want to check there. Okay. So there is that. And now we're going to go ahead and we're going to take off the tape. And remember, you're going to leave one backing on your tape. Okay. You do not want to take all of them off. Okay. If you take them all off, you won't be able to get your picture in there. So now we're going to go ahead and grab our little frame here, our sheet, and we're going to go ahead and stick this on as carefully as you can. Okay. Because I am having some issues here. Okay. I don't know why I'm having issues. There we go. So there you go. So there is your frames. So, and you can always change the position of your frames. If you don't want to have them go, you know, from right to left, you can always have them go up and down, however you wish to do it. It's totally up to you, however you want to have your frames go, okay? So there is one frame. So that's how you're going to be doing your frames, okay? And then all of your papers, now if you want to back each frame with one of the papers, you can do that. I'm going to leave mine white, and then we do need to cut a piece of paper for this one, and I usually cut mine and I leave about 1/8 of an inch on mine, so my paper will actually be 7/8 by 7 7/8 on my strip here on my belly band. Okay, then on your sheet here, you're going to go ahead and cut on your main page. You're going to go ahead and cut your paper is actually going to be at 6 5/8, okay, by 7 5/8. Now that's if you want a 1/8 inch border. If you want a larger border, then you will cut, let's say you want a 1/4 inch or border, then you will cut it down to 6 1/2 by 7 1/2. If you don't want a border, then you will just go ahead and cut your full paper at 6 3/4 by 7 3/4. Okay, so it just depends on what you're looking for as far as your borders and stuff like that on your paper. Okay, so I'm going to go cut my papers for all of my items, and then I will be right back.